Hi everyone. Here I thought I'd give you an overview of my Trangia 27 setup. I keep it in this case usually without the strap. I have got the orange bag and the strap as well if I want to take it away for in the rucksack, but usually I'm using this for car camping these days. If I do take it in the rucksack, I usually just take the kettle and leave the pots, as I would be using dehydrated food and I just need to boil water. This is a standard 27. I have changed the frying pan to a hard anodized one. It's just a bit easier to work with. Although I don't fry up that much, I usually just use it as a lid. I also have the multi-disc with all the grooves. This is a very nice little strainer. You can also use it as a stand and a lid as well. The cutout here allows you to fit in the pot grabber. I can't remember if this is a Trangia pot grabber or an aftermarket one. I have a few of these and sometimes they just get a bit mixed up. I also keep in this an MSR foldable spork. These are quite good. They're stronger than they look. They're also quite heat proof, and I have a few of these. You just press it in and that releases it and it folds it up nice and small. Microfiber cloth. You get these in bulk from pound shops, Euro shops or whatever, or Amazon. And there is the main kit and the internal pot stand for using smaller pots, coffee makers, etc. This has been used as well. This case is heavy, but it keeps it nice. You can also get a wool felt case, as well as the standard orange bag that you have. This cook set itself doesn't come with any case. It's usually just a strap over the top, which I don't use. Now we take everything out. Mine is the smaller one, it's the 27. Trangia, the largest is a 25. The smallest, I believe, is a 28 of their various cook sets and stoves. Mine is the one that came with the kettle. The kettle's probably the thing that I use the most. Boiling water inside the kettle. It's a bit, I have the plastic knob which is a bit melted, but never mind that. Inside the kettle I keep some various things, all in polythene bags in case the metal, especially brass, reacts with the aluminium. We have a little brass sparker. It's quite good in emergencies. It just has a flint in there. It's a bit difficult for me to use with my hands. They're still a bit damaged, but you can see it sparking. I keep that in there with a dispenser for Zippo flints. We'll have a few in there still. I've got others. I don't smoke anymore, but I used to when I had a Zippo. So, as well as that, I also have a small box of windproof matches. They're like lifeboat matches. They're wide enough. Once you do these, it's very difficult to put them out in the wind. The only downside is if this case does get wet, the matches are fine, but the striker goes. These are safety matches, so won't strike on a normal piece of sandpaper or rough surface. Like boomers and Gen Xers are used to. In the old days, you could strike a match anywhere. Now, you need the special sort of sandpaper. I do carry a match striker from a matchbox inside, just to make sure that I have something. And most importantly, the ubiquitous Trangia bag, and inside I have the burner with an aftermarket simmering, and hopefully you can all see that, the preheater. Which I have to take off if I'm putting it together in the summer. These have the standard pots. This one is the 0.5. And I think this one is the same. Yeah, so this one has the markings 0.3, 0.5. So 300 and 500 mLs. The one with the grading stacks inside to save weight. But a lot of people don't mention this, but if you put them the other way, they will not go in. And that's very handy if you're boiling something in there. You can put that on top to keep something warm with the lid. Okay. As I've mentioned before, mine has a newer windshield, as I managed to melt the old one using an aftermarket gas. If it's in the summer and I'm putting in the gas, I'm best taking off the preheater, or I can just drop it in like that with the preheater on it. Or I could just take it off. The Chinese cloned simmering I like because it's easier for me to put it in to snuff out things out, etc. This burner has seen a lot of use and probably need a bit of a clean, but it still works fine. So that would sit in there. If I needed to simmer anything, obviously not over the flame, I can put that in at any part that I want and snuff it out as well. This is the adapter I got from Trangia. It doesn't come with the stove, and that's so that I can use non-standard pots. I can even use the the normal ones on it if I needed to, they just fit in on top. But if anything that is smaller diameter than these will fit on there. Not too small because it could topple between these, but it works well. I can't remember how much this costs, and it just sits in the bottom of the case. I also have the billy can for this. I very rarely use it though, unless I'm going to be cooking, and then you're always best making sure it's at the upper level so that you don't create too much heat inside, and that there's always oxygen getting to the burner. Most people will know that here we have all these holes. Face the holes into the wind, it creates an effect that makes the flame go a bit stronger. If you have an older vintage Trangia, you won't have these holes. This hole here is to feed the gas hose through from a gas insert, and this one is for the older gas inserts that had a multi-fuel, I believe, that had a long valve control knob, and it would stick through here. And if we're frying anything up, that can go on there. If I'm cooking anything in there and I need a pot lid, I can use that. As you can see, it fits on perfectly. I can use that. I can put it that way if I want. I usually use this. It lets the steam out, it doesn't melt, and it's a handy strainer as well. You fill it, when you fill it up and you light it with your lighter or burning piece of paper or whatever stick, just put your hand over the top. You'll feel the heat. Alcohol burns with you can't see the flame usually. So when you're first going that, just put your hand over and you'll feel if there's any heat. Try and keep it as stable as possible. It's a very stable stove. If you do knock over an alcohol burner like this that has the well for the alcohol, burning alcohol goes quite a long way and will burn you down your tent if you're using it. So be very careful, don't kick it. You can also use a gel burner in here. I have one. I don't really like using the gel, it leaves bad residues, etc. And it's not as strong a heat as you get off the alcohol. And basically it's just a tin can about the size of a shoe polish tin. Once you've snuffed it out, let it cool. Do not put the lid back on immediately. If you can see in there, there is a rubber seal, and if you put that on, once it's hot, it will melt into the holes and you'll be trying to prick melted rubber out of that for quite a wee while. Also, do not refill your stove when it's hot. You could cause yourself a nasty injury that way. As I said before, this allows you to lift it up. You could just keep it without, and that would mean that you can get in to the burner easily. I don't usually carry anything else. I do have a gas burner and a multi-fuel burner for these, but they are kept in separate. The gas burner is a Trangia version, and the multi-fuel burner is an Edelred Hexon, which is a stove in itself. So they get kept separate from this because they can be used in my triangle setup as well. So that's just a short and quick overview of the Trangia 27 that I use. Okay, thanks. See you all later. Bye bye.